Hey guys, it's
Hi.
Anne Catherine and Tiara again, and today we have an exciting topic we'll talk about, which is books for highly sensitive people and empaths. And we'll share our top 5 books that we've read and which we recommend for you to read. So let's just dive straight in. Tiara, what's your first favorite book?
Yeah, I was thinking when I compiled mine, like life-changing books too. So it kind of goes into both because I think all of mine are very HSP and empath friendly. So I'll start it off with the two. These are actually like one, but they're two books.
Yeah.
If you haven't read these yet and you're a highly sensitive person, like go to the bookstore right now.
Yes, definitely.
So these are both by Dr. Elaine Aron. She's the one who coined the term, the highly sensitive person. And so this was like the first one I think that she came out with, and it's just the general overview of like what it means to be a highly sensitive person. And she goes pretty thorough into like, I think different, like scenarios of life and being too in or too out in the world, like being, like you don't want to be at home all day long because it's comfortable or whatever, or be too far out in the world and never get alone time. So kind of like that balance. And then this one is the follow-up book about being in a relationship as a highly sensitive person. So
Yeah.
both just huge eye openers for any highly sensitive person and probably for empaths too.
Yeah, I think something that I see in our community is that every person who reads this book who's highly sensitive feels such a relief moment when reading this book because they finally recognize I'm not weird, I'm not alone, I'm normal, and it's okay to be the way I am, and that there are tons of other people feeling the same way. And I think I felt the same as well. When I was reading it the first time, I was like, okay, hallelujah, it's a miracle.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so when I first discovered the trait, I found it out in a YouTube video, and that was like when I had my like, whoa, aha moment. And then I think in the video, she mentions the book. And I think as soon as I finished watching the video, I went on Amazon and got the book.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's like, I'll just go over, and I won't do this for every single book, but just because this one's like really important, I'll just mention like what some of the like table of contents are. So she talks about like general health and lifestyle, then, like reframing your childhood, social relationships, thriving at work, close relationships, deeper wounds, even goes into like medications and different, like healing ideas for highly sensitive people. And then even talks about tips for teachers and healthcare professionals working with highly sensitive people. So lots of good stuff.
Yeah, definitely a good read, and highly recommendable if you're just finding out about your trait and want to learn how to cope. And yeah, really a good one.
And I think the other one is mostly about relationships, but I honestly feel like the relationship one, I think I learned even more about myself because it talks about some of the like basic psychology, ideas of different fears and different like attachment styles too. So that's just it's just really eye-opening to learn more about yourself, I think.
Yeah, I actually haven't read that one yet, so
Oh
it's
yeah,
on my
you
list.
should get
So.
it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I've got another book which I really like. It's not necessarily about highly sensitive people or empaths, but I feel it's really relevant for us.
Yes.
It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Bleep. I can't say the word. And the author is Mark Manson. So this book is really an eye-opener if you are a person who really cares a lot about everything and everyone and everything that you do. And it just basically learns you to relax, lay back a little bit more, and learn that you simply should not give a bleep. So,
Yeah, I think because I read it too, and it's funny because it was going to be one of my books, but I don't have it with me, and of course Anne Catherine did, so it worked out perfectly. But I would say, like, for me, that book was huge in terms of shifting my perspective. But I
yes,
also want to say, like, with a word of caution for anyone who's really sensitive reading that book, because it's sort of like what I think as myself as a coach, because he also like shits on coaches and stuff in that book,
yes,
and
and
people who are
positivity.
overly positive, right? So
Yeah,
I feel like there's this spectrum of like positivity, like overly positive and then overly like cynical and negative.
yeah,
And I think that he sort of polarizes that like by putting himself on that sort of cynical negative side, and that
yeah,
the coaches and the positive affirmation people are
yeah,
like on this extreme, and sort of craps on that, but like I want to say going into it that you should still read the book, because some of the sort of like mindset shifts that he talks about are incredible in terms of like viewing, you know, as you get more accomplished in whatever you're trying to do with your life, that you end up having like different problems. Like you're always going to have things that are challenging, but as you level up your life, you like level up the problems you're dealing with. And so there's a lot of things like that that are really great to help you like look at it from a different perspective. But if you're a sensitive person, just sort of like take the really like cynical stuff like with a grain of salt and just
don't
keep
take
reading.
it too seriously. I had the same. I must be honest, when I read the first chapter, I felt a bit at unease because I really had to get used to his way of writing. It was so the opposite of what I used to write like, and what I usually read. So, and I also am the person that he talks about, like I really am for positive psychology. So when he was really on that topic, I found I felt a bit at unease. So but what you said, the overall point that he's making in the book is really great and really changes your perspective on your relationships with others, but also everything you do in life. So
I think the reason it's titled the way it is to grab people's attention and really like make them think like, how is that possible, to get them to read the book. But I think the more true title for the book is actually like teaching you what to care about. Like not that you shouldn't care about anything, but that especially for highly sensitive people and empaths who tend to be like overly caring individuals, to kind of like reel in that energy for yourself and choose like the 3 most important things in your life that actually matter to you at the end of life, and to really care about, and let everything else just sort of, you know, come and go. And so
and give a bleep. It's
a good one. So my next book, so this I actually read a few years ago, so it's been a little while. It's called Loveable by Kelly Flanagan. This one I actually was really, I think, life-changing for me in terms of self-worth, which I know a lot of highly sensitive people, I mean, just people in general struggle with self-worth. I feel like he talks a lot about God and just like from a religious, like Christian perspective, but actually like, even if you're not religious or you're, you know, part of a different religion, it's still like a really good read. I wouldn't say that to like put anyone off, just to sort of let you know that, he talks about his like Christian traditions. It's just a really good read for self-worth. I mean, I'll just rattle off. So it's like, you are enough. And then he talks about like, I think his childhood and like reframing some childhood experiences and the difference between getting rich and living richly. So worthiness isn't being cocky, it's being honest. So like actually having sort of a healthy view on self-worth, basically just allowing yourself to feel good about yourself without feeling like it's selfish or cocky.
Oh, but that sounds so important for highly sensitive, who often tend to feel a bit insecure about themselves and have a low self-worth. So
he also talks about how to let go of your false self. So a lot about just like being authentic and being your true you. Embracing what is truest about you, so you can truly embrace your life. Kind of cool.
Nice. Definitely going on my list. So I have another book which actually, is a bit similar, but more focused on self-care for the self-aware, from Dave Markowitz. And it's a book especially for highly sensitive people, empaths, intuitives, and healers. And it's amazing. I bought it because I really struggled with absorbing energies from other people all the time. When I was going out, or when I was going over to friends and talking with them, I always took home with me their energy. And it's good if it's positive, but when it's negative and you absorb everything and all the pain from everybody around you, at the end of the day, you feel so drained. And I think that a lot of empaths and highly sensitive people can relate, and maybe also healers and coaches. And this book basically teaches you to take care of yourself and how to properly shield your energy field from that to happen, so that you basically go out into the world protected and you still help people, but you don't absorb their energy. And it's such a strong book. It really helped me through some really tough times when I was so drained every day. And it's really practical, and it's really thin.
I was gonna say, it looks like it's a quick read. It's nice and
sweet. It's a quick read. I read it in one evening, and I applied really awesome techniques. He's also talking about this technique because a lot of us tend to carry pain with us from years ago, also connections to people that we don't talk to now, but that still bother us, you know. Sometimes when you have a fight in the past and you haven't really ended that yet for yourself, and you carry it on, and every time you think about it, you get this annoying feeling in your stomach. And basically, this book teaches you how to let go of those.
Wow.
And
yeah,
those.
Definitely going on my list.
Definitely, it's a really good read, and it's really not that expensive either. So if you're looking to improve your life and to lift it to a next level, then I can really recommend this book. It's a really good one. So that's why I want to say, because it's a bit in line with self-love, what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was a good follow-up.
It's really a really good one.
This is Cody.
Hi, Cody. Cat break.
Now you've all met my giant, like, little mountain lion of a guy.
Yeah.
So the third book that I have is called The Mood Cure.
Oh, wow.
And it's by Julia Ross. And it's actually, I'm going to probably do a terrible job explaining what this is about, but I'm going to do my best. It's like, and I have gotten pretty far through it. I don't think I've finished it all. It can be kind of technical at some points, but she's basically like merging nutrition and psychology, and it's just like mind-blowing. So without getting too technical, there are like neurotransmitters in the brain, right, that regulate our moods. And sometimes, like, if you're born with like a low serotonin, which I know that actually I think highly sensitive people tend to be lower in serotonin, or we like burn through it faster or something.
Yeah.
There's actually like nutritional supplements that you can take. Like, I think it's 5-HTP is what ends up being like converted into serotonin. So you can take that like amino acid essentially as a supplement to boost those levels and sort of like regulate your mood with nutritional therapy. So it's like amazing. And there's 4 types. So you go through and you take this like quiz based on your symptoms, and then you go to that section of like which one you are, and then she explains like what supplements to take, what foods and things to avoid, and what foods to eat. And it's just so cool.
And is this book a good read when you don't have any experience with nutrition? Is it like good for beginners?
Yeah, I think the most she explains it all in a way you can grasp. It just, for some people, it might be like a lot of, if you're not like interested in psychology or interested in biology or nutrition, it might be like boring at some points. But the other thing is you don't have to read the whole book. You just read your section.
Yeah, your section. You know
what I mean? And I personally think it's fascinating. So like only I can. Oh, here, let me. Okay, so there's 4 types, just to like get people's interest. So the first one is low in serotonin, and so I'll just rattle off a few. It says like, are you often worried or anxious? Yeah. Do you have trouble getting to sleep? Do you dislike dark weather? And some of these are like really bizarre, which you'd never think meant anything. Like, are you a night owl? Do you find relief from getting exercise? So that's all like type 1. And then type 2 is low in stimulating like neurotransmitters. So if you often feel like low, you don't have a lot of energy, do you have difficulty focusing? So like all these different symptoms that you might have, if you go through and like take this questionnaire, and then they tell you like what you're low in, and then you go to that section and read about like how you can nutritionally support your mood. It's just
Oh wow, I think that's really relevant for a lot of highly sensitive people and empaths too. So really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. If you're into psychology or nutrition and you struggle with your mood at all, like ever in your life, just pick it up, because I've been wanting, like when I read it, I wanted to share it with everyone close to me. I'm like, you have to figure out which one you are. We're gonna get the supplement. I was like so excited.
I definitely am gonna talk to you about this further. So I'm really curious which type I am.
Yeah.
Okay, so the third book that I chose is Ikigai from Frances Miralles and Hector Garcia. It's this one. I don't know.
Oh, cool.
Do you know?
I've seen that before, which is, maybe you showed us.
Yes, on my feed. I guess on my Instagram feed. But anyways, this book is really amazing for highly sensitive people and empaths, because we have a tendency to seek meaning in life, and to do everything that we do should be meaningful. And this book helps you to find your purpose and to find your meaning in life, because Ikigai, it's a Japanese term, and there's actually not an English translation for it, but
I love stuff like that.
But Ikigai translates to the reason why you go out of bed with joy. So you wake up and you feel joy from what you're doing. So that's your Ikigai. And there's this whole model that helps you to figure out what your Ikigai is. So it's really interesting. Definitely look it up. Basically, this whole book discovers the Japanese people's secret of living the Ikigai. So they don't only look at the life purpose, but also at the nutrition and activity that they do in daily life to stay so healthy and to become so old. Because in fact, Japanese people, next to one other country, are live the longest.
Yeah.
And that's because they apply this Ikigai. So I found it so fascinating when I was reading it the first time, and I was like, wow, there's so many mind-blowing facts in here, and which we definitely should adapt more in the Western culture. So if you're looking for your meaning in life, to find your purpose, and to live your life up to a next level, then this book really is a good one to read.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. I think I might have to get that one for myself, because one of the things I help clients with when I work with them is life purpose. So definitely want to learn more about that.
Yeah, and the model, you already will feel like, wow, this is so spot on. And the whole book is really nice to read, and it gives concrete tips on how to apply Ikigai in your daily life. So it's really nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, my fourth book is about money, which is a topic like no one ever wants to talk about, but it's one of those things that you need to talk about. You know what I mean? Because money is just basically like a energetic, like a like an energetic currency, right? Basically. So it's like it's so linked to your self-worth and the way that you feel about yourself and your capabilities and what you're willing to give and receive in the world. Like there's so many things that money is connected to, that it's not just about like the numbers in your bank, you know. So really good read for anyone who feels like they can't really attract or manifest the right amount, you know, like they can't attract abundance, or they can't manifest abundance, and they're just having all these money blocks and stuff. This is a really good read. I actually honestly haven't gotten all the way through it, but the first like half that I did read, it was just such a good way to just shift your mind from feeling guilty. Because I know a lot of like healers and energy workers and coaches and stuff sometimes feel like they're doing this very like divine purpose work, and that they shouldn't, and they feel like guilty for actually like taking money for it. But it's actually the opposite. It's like complete opposite from that viewpoint, you know, and sort of getting rid of the idea that there isn't enough resources in the world for everyone, like just all these types of beliefs that hold you back. She kind of goes over, and she gives you practical tools like week 1, week 2, and she has you do all these things throughout the weeks. So it's not just a book about like shifting your mindset, which is amazing, you know, in and of itself, but it actually gives you practical tools to go through.
I love that.
Yeah, like one of them, I think the first week you throw out things in your house that you're not using anymore, like clear out and declutter and sort of make room for, you know, more things to come in, basically.
Yeah.
So, and Tasha Silver is the author.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm definitely gonna get that one. I still know my money mindset. So yeah, I'm really
oh yeah, I know which one you're gonna show. That was in my cart. So I was gonna ask you, because that's in my Amazon cart right now, and I'm like this close from just clicking by.
I think a lot of people know her already, but I couldn't make it to not show her books, because the next book that I'm showing is also from her. Gabrielle Bernstein. She's an amazing spiritual guide. And the first book that I'm showing from her is The Universe Has Your Back. I read this book, let me see, in 2018. I bought it 2 years ago when I was feeling like my life was not going the way I wanted it to. I was not so happy about my work at that time, and about many things. Just I wasn't living a purposeful life, and I didn't know what direction to go. And I also, I don't know if I've ever told you about this, but I wasn't raised religious. So I was raised as an atheist. I don't believe in anything. And my parents always told me, yeah, you have to figure it out on your own what you believe in, you know? And I always struggled, because I was searching for 25 years what I believe in, and I couldn't find it, because I'm not a Christian, and I liked from every belief I found some things that I really enjoy, but I just didn't feel the complete fit. And this book, it's not about religion, but it's about faith in the universe. And the universe, you can basically replace it with your God if you want to. So I really like how you can apply it to everybody, everybody's faith. So it's not like just limiting it to one belief, but it's applicable to for everyone. And that's why I like this so much. And for me, I've basically found my faith in this book, because what Gabrielle Bernstein does is she gives you faith that there's a path there for you, that you are, it's destiny, you know, it's planned ahead for you. And whenever things aren't going the way you want them to, it's because the universe has something better in mind for you, or God, or Allah, or whatever you believe in, you know.
Right.
And it came into my life at a moment where I was really struggling, and I was like, okay, so basically the universe is just telling me to look somewhere else. And that's when I started looking somewhere else. I started asking for signs from the universe, because I believe in the universe, but you can also ask for a sign from God, just to clarify that. And I basically started asking for signs on what direction to go with my life and with my career. And I got all these amazing signs based upon reading this book. And I was like, okay, this book definitely changed my life. And I think it will change the life of many people, not only highly sensitive people and empaths, but everybody who reads this book will feel this amazing energy that comes from it. So it's definitely worth the read. And if you're like feeling stuck right now, this is the book to go to.
It's interesting that you had that experience, because I was raised with like a Christian and Jewish background, because so my dad's side was Jewish and my mom's side was Christian. So growing up, we like celebrated both holidays, and I was very aware of both religions, but it was never like, they didn't force me to go to church. They didn't force me to go to temple. It was very just sort of like, these are our cultural religions, and we eat this food because of this, and we celebrate this holiday because of this. And that was it basically. But as I grew up and got older, and my mom sort of went this way with me, we sort of decided we were more spiritual and not religious. And so we would talk about the universe and manifesting and you know, and I think that like the way I see it is like co-creation, like there's a force out there, whether you believe it's the universe or God or whatever it is, that's you're sort of in co-creation and conversation with throughout your life. And so you can ask God, you can ask the universe for signs, you can ask for help, like just believing that there's something else out there that has your back, like exactly like the title says. And
has your back.
I want to read that so badly, because I don't know, I just feel like it's going to be the same. It's like, it's basically like, you know, something that you have faith in. It's and apply to every area of your life.
Yes, it's definitely good. If it's fine, I will just take the next book from her as well.
Go ahead.
It fits with this one. Otherwise, we go back and forth. But her other book, which is it's not necessary to read The Universe Has Your Back to read this book, which is called Super Attractor. But it's
Have you read that one yet? Because that was I was gonna buy that one too.
Yes.
Okay. I'm so interested to hear about it.
Yes, because you don't have to read The Universe Has Your Back to understand this one, but it definitely helps, because this book builds on builds further on some concepts from the first book. But she always goes back to the first book to explain it briefly for those who don't know the book yet. Who don't know the first book that I talked about. But anyways, this book is amazing if you want to take your life to the next level. So I bought this book 4 months ago, I guess, 4 or 5 months ago. And at that point, I already started my business as a consequence from getting all these signs from the first book. and I started my business, and I set some first steps, and I felt happy, but I felt, okay, I still need to work further on attracting the things into my life that I really want and that I really need to grow further. And this book basically teaches you how to do that. So Super Attractor is about manifesting a life beyond your wildest dreams. And basically I've been applying all these techniques that she talks about in the book. She really gives practical techniques to try out, like manifesting, writing down gratitude, talking about your day and what you weren't happy with, and why this lesson came into your life, and like all these kinds of different tools. And this book definitely helped me to manifest great things that are happening right now in my life. So definitely, again, a life changer for me. And if you're looking to really live your life to the next level, I recommend you to buy both books of her. And, definitely, apply the techniques that she's talking about.
Awesome. Yeah, those are both of those are in my cart, and I might just have to go.
I would definitely buy it if you're looking to. Yeah, definitely a good one.
Okay, so this last one again, my reader procrastination is showing in this video. But so I actually am not a huge reader. Like I've never been a huge fan of reading, but when I do find a book that's like really amazing, I'll read it like front to back. Yeah. But this one I actually mentioned that I was gonna buy, I think in our last video, which is You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty.
Oh yeah,
the water book I was talking about. So I did actually buy it. So I do have a good excuse because I just bought it like a week ago.
Oh wow.
But I haven't read it all. But I know it's going to be like life changing for me in particular, and actually I think it's pretty common for highly sensitive people and empaths to complain or experience aches and pains and all these like weird physical things going on that can't be explained. And it's crazy how much dehydration can lead to like so many different sensitivities. And I think that it's just like from what I was reading in the reviews, it's just mind blowing of like how much of a difference it makes, and just gives you an appreciation for how amazing the human body is. Like when you realize how many things are going on in here that you have no consciousness of, that are just working to like keep you alive, and how vital water is to like all of those functions. Yeah. I really like, I think I said in the other video, I've just had this gut feeling that I needed to take like water intake more seriously. Yeah. I basically bought this book to like inspire and scare me into drinking more water. Yeah,
but I guess it's logical, you know, because basically a plant, when you have a plant and you don't give it water, you see how it's getting more and more sick. But with us, it's basically the same. So it's really inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, it talks about like blood pressure, diabetes, allergies, and your immune system, your gut, like your brain, all these different systems that are affected. And so if you have any inkling inside of you, like I did, that you might need to be drinking some more water, I would highly recommend this book. Even though I haven't read it yet, I've heard so many people say it's just like they never look at a glass of water the same ever again.
Oh wow, I definitely look into it. Anyway, so these are our favorite books for highly sensitive people and empaths, and of course some of these books are also for people who aren't HSP or an empath, but
life-changing for us. So
life-changing for us, and definitely also life-changing for you. So definitely look into them. You can find the links to every book in the description of this video, so if you want to purchase it, go straight ahead and have a look at it. Anyways, that's it. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Oh wait,
I don't know. Okay, bye bye. He's so cute.
He's like, put me down, I want to go out.